Once upon a time there was a child named Joko Berek. Every day he was always teased and said to be illegitimate by his friends because he did not have a father. One day he just came home from playing with his friends. His heart is angry, curious not absurd. Arriving at Joko Berek's house, he immediately met his mother. At that time his mother was gathered with his grandparents. "Mother, I can't take it anymore," said Joko Berek. "What's the matter, my son? Why is your face so sullen?" asked Dewey Sangra. Joko Berek's mother. "Mother must explain. Who is my father? When he is dead, where is his grave? So I can send a prayer in his tomb. But if he is still alive, let mother show me his place." Joko Berek whined to his mother. Dewey Sangra's heart was pounding. She had expected this would happen some time after her son growing up. Joko Berek would definitely ask who his father is. She had to answer it clearly. "My son, Joko Berek, since you are an adult, it is appropriate that you ask about your father. Please listen, my son. Your father is a Duke of Surabaya. His name is Adipati Jayangrono. If you want to meet him, you may visit him there." Joko Berek immediately found out his origins. Armed with what he had, Joko Berek left for the Surabaya Kadipaten to meet his father. When about to enter the gate of the duchy, Joko Berek was stopped by a soldier who was on guard. "Hi you, stop," shouted the soldier. "What make you or dare to come to this duchy?" "I want to meet the Duke," said Joko Berek in his innocent face. His face looked like the most innocent youth villager. "Young man, look at me. I am a soldier on guard. You cannot enter the duchy. You must get out of here before I get kicked you out," snapped the soldier. "I didn't want to go before I met the Duke of Surabaya, named Adipati Jayangrono," said Joko Berek. The soldier at the gate was annoyed to see Joko Berek, who didn't want to leave the duchy. So he immediately attacked Joko Berek, in order that Joko Berek would leave. But Joko Berek did not want to leave, he fought bravely. Fortunately, the two sons of Adipati Jayangrono named Sawungsari and Sawunggrono discovered the fight. They stopped the fight. The soldier who was fighting with Joko Berek was immediately asked, "Sorry, Prince, this young man was about to force his way into the duchy. I prevented him. But he was even charming," reported the soldier. Hearing the report from his soldiers, Sawunggrono immediately asked Joko Berek, "Excuse me, who are you? And why do you force your way into the duchy?" asked Sawunggrono. "I want to go to Duke Jayangrono. I have something to convey to him." Joko Berek replied, "No outsiders can see my father. Should you just go home or should I force you to come home?" Sawungsari said, "I remain in my stance, want to meet Adipati Jayangrono," said Joko Berek. Seeing Joko Berek's recklessness, the two sons of Adipati Jayangrono immediately ganged up on Joko Berek. Deftly, Joko Berek served Sawunggrono and Sawungsari. Not long ago the fight took place. Adipati Jayangrono saw it. The Duke of Surabaya immediately approached those who were fighting. "Hey, stop this fight," he shouted. After the fighting stopped, Adipati Jayangrono immediately asked about the fight. The two sons explained in detail. "You are named Joko Berek who wants to see me. Now tell me, what do you need?" asked the Duke. "I just want to find my father who is a Duke here. His name is Adipati Jayangrono. If it's you, of course you are my father," said Joko Berek. "Let me ask you, young lad, what is your mother's name? And what evidence is there that you are my son?" asked the Duke. "I am a son of my young Dewey Sangra. As proof that I am indeed the son of her, my mother gave me this Sindhi Puspita scarf," replied Joko Berek. Joko Berek took out the Sindhi Puspita shawl from the package he was carrying. It turned out that it was true that the scarf was the Sindhi Puspita shawl that Adipati Jayangrono had previously given to Dewey Sangra, who he loved. "Then you are my son," said the Duke emotionally. Duke Jayangrono embraced Joko Berek. Likewise Joko Berek, he tightly embraced his father who he had not seen for a long time. Then Joko Berek was introduced to his brother, Sawunggrono and Sawungsari. Joko Berek was told to live in the duchy and his name was changed to Sawunggaling. That is the origin of the name Joko Berek, which changed to Sawunggaling. Sawunggaling lives in the Duchy of Surabaya with his father who is the Duke. One day the Duchy of Surabaya arrived the Dutch company led by Captain Nall, who brought a letter from General de Boer which said that the position of Duke in Surabaya would be revoked. It was because Adipati Jayangrana did not want to cooperate with the Dutch company. But at that time there was an announcement that in Kartoshoro Square there would be a Sodaran competition. Sodaran is a sparring war for horsemen armed with spears and shooting banners named Umbul Umbul Tungal Yuda. Adipati Jayangrono, who had been fired, also told his sons to be active in training to participate in the competition. The winner of the competition will be appointed as the Duke in Surabaya. On the day of the competition was held, Jayangrono and his two sons went to Kartoshoro without informing Sawunggaling. But Sawunggaling also went to Kartoshoro secretly. Before leaving, Sawunggaling returned to the village asking for blessings from his mother, grandfather and grandmother. The archery contest was only followed by Sawunggrana and Sawungsari. But both of them failed. Unable to drop the Judah stumps that had been installed between the Gala towers. Since there was no winner, Sosro Adiningrat, who acted as the organizing committee for the competition, immediately held another registration. At that moment a young man appeared who raised his hand. It turned out that he was Sawunggaling. This lad, Sawunggaling, was precisely what brought down the Umbul Umbul Tungal Yuda. In his victory, besides being appointed as Adipati in Surabaya, Sawunggaling also received a gift from a Mangkurat Agung's daughter in Kartoshoro named Nini Sakar Kedatan. Sawunggaling's success has led to the jealousy of his two brothers, namely Sawunggrono and Sawungsari. Both want to harm Sawunggaling. During a massive party of celebrating Sawunggaling's appointment as Duke in Surabaya, Sawunggrono and Sawungsari secretly put poison powder into Sawunggaling's drinking glass. However, Adipati Chakranangrat from Madura discovered that action. When the poisonous drink was handed over to Sawunggaling, Adipati Chakranangrat pretended to hit Sawunggrana, which resulted in the dropping of the glass containing the drink that had been poisoned. Seeing this, Sawunggrono was very angry. "My brother Sawunggaling, look at the Duke of Madura. He doesn't respect you because he dropped the drink I offered to you." "This is an insult," said Sawunggrono. Sawunggaling's blood boiled due to the insulted action by Adipati Chakranangrat. He quickly grabbed Adipati Chakranangrat's hand and pulled him out of the duchy. "Why is Uncle Duke Chakranangrat insulting me in front of the guests? Will you be challenging me to a fight?" asked Sawunggaling. "Calm down, my son, the drink you were about to drink has actually been poisoned by Sawunggrana. I saw it, therefore I immediately took action to save your life," said Chakranangrat calmly. Sawunggaling regretted that he had hastily accused Adipati Chakranangrat of being absurd. "And all that was planned by the rotten Dutch companies, my son. Your two brothers have joined the Dutch company because they want to be Adipati in Surabaya," explained Duke Chakranangrat. "Oh, uncle," Sawunggaling felt regretful. "Forgive my carelessness." Since then Sawunggaling hated the Dutch company. With a strong heart he was determined to fight the Dutch. He always increased the strength of his troops to expel the Dutch. Fighting raged across the Surabaya area. In a fierce battle Sawunggaling managed to kill General de Boer. Finally, due to severe illness, Sawunggaling died in the Kupang area and was buried in the Lida Wetan area, Surabaya. The moral message contained in the legend of Sawunggaling is that every human being should not give up in his life. Continue to try to improve the fate for the better.